I'm excited that you guys are here. So I have three lovely guest speakers here to speak to you about sexual assault and the meaning of it and how it's important to stick together in our community. So they'll introduce themselves. So we're going to start with
Hi everyone, I'm I am currently a counselor at Northeast Academy, so about half of the room I know. The other half I don't know, so hi. So yeah, that's just me.
Hi, my name is Nuji Hartsfield, and I currently work as a division on women in trans, so my work really surrounds domestic violence.
Hi, I'm Anaya. I have my own organization called Feminist Universe. It's basically just trying to get women together and also little girls together in my community, and eventually I want to expand to other spaces.
My personal role as a counselor, there are many times where I have both male and female students come into my office and share things with me that's going on inside or outside of school. And it's just for me just sitting down and talking to them, finding different ways and finding different resources to help them support themselves, reaching out to families and making sure that they feel loved, making sure that they feel supported, and finding the steps to help them recover. Because not everyone's recovery looks different. Recovery and overcoming things look different on everyone. So like for me, it looked completely different. I had to make peace within myself. Because for me, that's what I need to do for myself, to move forward for myself. Other people, they do other things to make themselves feel happy, but everyone's path is different. Everyone's journey looks different for themselves. So that's just like a little snippet from me. I'm quite sure everyone else has a different story that they may have to share.
Personally, I've never went through being sexually abused, but growing up and getting fuller with my body and discovering who I am as a woman, I've had men approach me in ways where it felt very degrading. I would have men message me in ways where it made me feel uncomfortable, and typically half the time when it's in person and a man is saying something to me, I kind of feel intimidated a little bit, as if I don't know what to do, I don't know how to defend myself, I don't know what to say, and it can be frightening, especially coming from a man. They can be very overpowering. But recently I went through this experience on my vacation in Miami. I went to the club with my lovely friend, and I was dancing, and I had this guy. He pulled me on his lap, and it's loud in the club, and nobody can really hear you, nobody's paying attention, so everyone's thinking that, oh, I'm dancing with him, and I repeatedly kept telling this man to stop, get off of me, and he literally held me down by my waist until I threatened him to get him beat up by my brothers. And when I got off of him, he was like, you wanted it. And after that, it's been on my mind for a very long time. And I'm like, maybe I should have handled it differently, maybe it's because of what I was wearing. And in reality, it's not about what you wear, it's not about what you look like. A man, sometimes, that's just them. And that's something that they have to deal with on their own. It's scary because you do have these little girls growing up, and then especially with women on social media, like to show our bodies, like to twerk, and these girls just are thinking that this is the way that you can get a man. If I dress like this, if I present myself like this, then maybe somebody will like me. That's not the way that it should go. So I'm asking all of you guys, if you have like a little sister, or a little girl, or just a friend, to be a role model to them. I've seen girls go through crazy things, being exposed sexually, being embarrassed sexually. I've had this one girl go through a traumatic experience, one of my mentees, and she still to this day doesn't know how to handle it. And the first step that I can tell her is to talk about it. I can't tell her exactly what to do, but for somebody to listen is the first step. So if you can just be an ear to a girl or a friend and just be there for them emotionally, that is what is most important.
So, prior to me working at the Division on Women, I spent about a decade working at DICAS. Now it's called Child Protection and Permanency. So I started back in like 2006, and one of the things that I've noticed was the high amount of sexual abuse cases that I would obtain on my caseload. In these cases, they weren't strangers on the street. They were not random. These were uncles, cousins, grandfathers, fathers, stepfathers, and these were our community. I worked in Newark Center City, so I service Newark. So our people who look like us, our community, generational sexual assault that families would cover, right? No, you can't go to the police because this is my brother, and if you tell on my brother, then he's going to go to jail and it's going to divide the family. So this is something that our community is dealing with and is putting under the rug. So I needed to get some more education on what to do and how to empower women and girls. I went back and got a master's in social work. I followed up on like trauma-focused therapy and just ways to empower our community, our girls, how to protect your own body. If you feel uncomfortable, listen to your gut, right? Tell someone, because little girls, they feel as though I did something wrong. Or maybe if I didn't go around them at that time, that wouldn't have happened. Or maybe I should have stayed in my room, right? So we need to really empower our young girls on what is your body, personal space, not allowing people to touch you, right? Having correct names for different body parts, not teaching our young kids different names, no. Private parts, vagina, right? Not calling it punani. So when you go to the school and say, hey, someone touched this, a teacher is saying, I didn't know what that meant, because I would receive so many referrals, and I would say, wow, so-and-so said that they disclosed this to the teacher, and the teacher was like, yeah, but she didn't say vagina, so I didn't know what she meant. So we really need to be clear on how we raise our young girls, our young boys, while really educating them about privacy and private parts and telling and sticking to their story. I would receive so many cases where children would recant because they just didn't want to be caught up in this family dynamic or this struggle, right? So we really need to say, listen, I believe you, and if you want to continue with this process, I will allow it. So that's something that's really hard in our communities right now that we really need to try to really tackle on, which led me to my work at the Division on Women, where I can really promote agencies who are working with people with sexual assault and domestic violence, and put out grant funding for different agencies in the community and how they can work with prevention in the marginalized area, because that's who struggle with these things. Working closely with the prosecutor's office, with judges, police departments, because again, there'd be so many times where I would call Essex County prosecutor's office and say, hey, I have this case I need you to pick up, and they'll say, I'm not taking it, or nope, that's for DICAS, we don't have time for it. But really educating our police departments and our judges on how the effects of sexual assault can really affect us long term. Because if we don't really talk about it, if we don't go to therapy to really process it, then number one, it's generational, and then number two, women won't have value for your body.
And a lot of times I refer them to our school social work, because obviously they're more experienced in dealing with situations that concern things of that nature. I can only sit there and talk to you, try to be a support to you. If you need a space to clear your head, a lot of times students usually come to my office to like get away from the academic life and just come to my office just like for a breather, and that's what I do to support them. If they need to like meditate, I'll go through like a meditation with them, things like that. That's what I personally do, because I know everybody does it differently. Because what I used to do, I was shocked. Like at the height of my depression, when I was going through what I was going through, I'll be completely honest, I racked up $8,000 worth of credit card debt. I still to this day do not know where I was. And that's just how I dealt with it. So it's like it's different for everybody. I literally was just there to support. There was no advice that I could actually give, because everybody's situation is different. And there was no advice I could give.
So, the advice that I would give to an adolescent who's going through something traumatic is to obtain therapy, right? Because once you open up Pandora's box, it's going to be extremely hard to reel it back in. So you really need to be careful when you open something so big and so traumatic, right? So if someone comes to you and you're their counselor and say, hey, this happened to me, of course you would listen, but you really don't want to get so much information, because if they do end up going to therapy, they're going to have to relive that entire information all over again. I would encourage them to talk to someone. Talk to someone who can help you process it, because like she said, some people may need medication, right? I may need something so much more. I may be so depressed where I can't get out of bed where I need like the antidepressant to help me. So it all depends on that situation, but I would definitely promote therapy as much as possible, because that's the first step of someone owning like this is not your fault. And I did a lot of work at Northwest Israel Hospital as a psychiatric screener, and I would see a lot of adolescents come in and they display so many things like cutting and being, promiscuous, and their parents are like, I don't know what's going on, and when I get there, I'm like, what's going on? And they'll just disclose like, this happened to me, and I'm like, oh my God, you just gave me a lot of information, so I'm going to be honest, you need therapy. You need to process this and really explain to them what therapy is. Because some people, they say, well, I'm not crazy, so I'm not going. No, therapy is not for anyone who's crazy. Having someone to talk to who is non-biased, right, who doesn't even know you from a can of paint, that's who you really could disclose information to, because they don't even know you, right? So you can tell them whatever you want. So I would definitely promote that. I would definitely give them that open space, like, you know what, if you're not ready to come to therapy and you're ready to come to me and talk to me, that's fine, but just be careful of how deep you get into certain things, because, again, when you open something so big, it's a lot to process. And then you have to know how to close it out, because you don't want someone to disclose so much information to you, and then you're like, all right, girl, talk to you later. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? You really need to really see through it and process it. But I would definitely promote having a mentor is so important.
So it's important to get this right first, right? Right. Thinking straight. Your body's gonna be back to being healthy. You're gonna feel energized. You're gonna, you're gonna glow again. But if everything is trapped in here, it's not gonna be.
So now we're going to see everybody dancing and chatting.
You look like someone's mom.